Hi everyone, my name is Dave and I'm here today to show you a top tier Orcust deck profile. This deck is not only powerful and top tier, but really fun to play with, so I will show this to you right now. If you like the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. My recent goal is to reach 100 subscribers, so if you can help me with that, I would be really happy and I would really appreciate that. We play 3 nightmares, really powerful. You can send this to the graveyard, then with this you can send your word one to the graveyard and special summon this from your banished zone, and you can make an Orcust monster on the field. Symbol Skeleton, important to play too. Brass Bombard, I played 1 at the beginning, but then I realized that 2 is better, so that's why I played 2. During the tests it worked really well. World Legacy Whirlwind, an important card. We can say that this is one of the core cards of the deck as well as the Orcust. And the Van Orochi, the same goes with this card. You need this in your deck, and this is pretty standard as regards the Orcust cards. And now let's see the other cards of the deck. Scrap Recycler, 3 of course, the best normal summon of your whole deck. The Van Golem, this is the biggest brick in the deck. You never ever want to draw this, but unfortunately this card is very important for your combos. We use Van Mecha Phantom Beast Olion and Van Jet Synchron as well. I decided to play both because this one is better in most cases, but there are cases when I draw this and then I can still make my combo if I will use this during the combo and will send with this the Olion to the graveyard, so that's why I play both. And on the other hand, in some cases I would recommend playing this instead of the Olion. With Jet Synchron you can discard a card, and there are a few cards in the deck which you would like to see in the graveyard instead of your hand, so this helped me a lot of times. We also play Van Armageddon, Van Greffer, and the Van Dragonbuster. This is for the lock, because with this your opponent won't be able to special summon monsters from the extra deck, and these two are for starters. They are really good cards. Even if you can't make a big board, with this you can make an acceptable and still powerful board. That's why we play them. Let's see the spells. To return, really good. I won't play 3 because you don't want to draw 2 in most cases. 3 Allure for hand fixes, and because we play a lot of darks. Reinforcement of the army, this is basically another Armageddon or Greffer. Foolish Burial, any Orcust card in your graveyard, or basically any monster in your graveyard. 1 for 1, you can send the card from your hand to the graveyard and special summon a level 1 monster from your deck. Really good. 2 Caught by the Grave, you don't want your opponent to disrupt your combos. 1 World Legacy spell, because this one is important for the combo. 1 Babel and 1 Crescendo. And after this, I show you why this deck is so powerful. In this deck there are a lot of space for your hand traps, so we can play a lot. 2 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Ash Blossoms. I don't want to play 3, but you can. It doesn't really matter. I play 2 because I hate having 2 in my hand. 2 DD Crows. In the new Master Rule, this card's effect is more powerful than it ever was. And on the other hand, it's a dark, so if you don't need this, you can banish it with your Allure of Darkness and draw 2 new cards. So it's very easy to play this card in this deck and very useful. And 2 Nibiru. I won't play 3 because this is another card which I don't want to have 2 in my hands. So with 8 hand traps, in most cases I have at least 1 in my hand or 2. But normally I don't have the same hand trap in my hand twice, and even if I have 2 DD Crows or 2 Infinite Impermanences, that doesn't really matter. Okay, so for this combo, you will need your scrap recycler, and this is a one card combo because this is the only specific card which you need, but you will need a card, for example, a Called by the Grave, which you can set to be destroyed, or this can be any card which you will be able to use to be destroyed. So this is your hand right now. First, you normal summon your scrap recycler. Its effect will activate and send an Olion to the graveyard. If you have Olion in your hand, you will send this to the graveyard, okay? So, Olion's effect will activate. It will special summon a token to your side of the field. Then, you use the token and your recycler to summon out your Wyvern. When you special summon your Wyvern, you will set your card, in this case the Called by the Grave. So it will be destroyed. I will show you. You activate Wyvern's effect, special summon the recycler from the graveyard and destroy immediately so its effect won't activate. Because it gets destroyed, Wyvern will activate and special summon your golem. Then you have to destroy a card on the field, and if your opponent doesn't have a card because he was the first player, then you destroy your own card. After that, golem activates its effect and summon back you a recycler. Recycler's effect activate, and it's very important to send your World Legacy Word Vent to the graveyard. Because what happens next, you use these two to summon out your Lib. Lib can only be special summoned if you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard, and that's why it's important to send your Word Vent to the graveyard. Because now, Lib's effect will activate, and you will be able to set a World Legacy succession directly from your deck. And now, if you have an extender, you can make an Appaloosa from these two, but in this case you don't have an extender, so now you will use your World Legacy spell immediately to summon back your golem, which will summon back your recycler, which will send the nightmare to the graveyard. Then you use these two cards to summon out your Union Carrier. And this is the time when you can start to activate your Orcust monsters, because from this we will only special summon out dark monsters. So first, let's use the effect of Nightmare, banish it, and send a Symbol Skeleton to the grave. Then you will use your Word Vent to summon back your Nightmare to your side of the field. After this, you can use your Lib and your Nightmare. Don't forget to use Lib's effect if your opponent has any card, because when Lib is sent to the graveyard as a link material, you can shuffle one card on the field into the deck. Okay, so don't forget to use that if your opponent has a card already on the field anytime you send Lib as a link material. So now we summon out Galatea. We activate Galatea's effect, shuffle back the World Legacy, and we will get your trap card, the Crescendo, and we can set it right here. After this, we use the Galatea and the Wyvern to summon out the Longirsu. After that, from our graveyard, we will use the Symbol Skeleton to summon back the Galatea. And after this, we use your Dingirsu, and we can attach the Symbol Skeleton to it as a material. So we will have a follow-up play if our Dingirsu gets destroyed somehow. And now we can finally use Union Carrier's effect. So we can get this card, the Dragon Buster, and set it, giving our Dingirsu 1000 attack points, and your opponent won't be able to special summon monsters from the extra deck. So from 1.5 card, so one specific card and from a card which you can destroy, you could special summon out all these monsters, and you could search out these cards. So what we have here is a Longirsu, which cannot be destroyed by card effect, a Dingirsu with 2 materials, so it can protect your cards. We have the Dragon Buster equipped to the Dingirsu, so your opponent won't be able to special summon monsters from the extra deck. And we also have a Crescendo, which we can activate because we have an Orcust Link monster. So this is the board you can make. If you have an extender, you can make an Appaloosa. So that's a bit more powerful, but I think this board in itself is really strong. Even if you can do this kind of board, the deck is still able to make pretty decent plays, and your opponent will indeed have a hard time to do anything against you. Your hand is most of the time playable. I rarely got unplayable hands, so I found that this is one of the most powerful decks in the format, and I recommend you guys to try it out if you can. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Thanks for today guys, have a nice day and get your game on.